Alright. What's up, YouTube? Impulsion here with the captain of MLG Pro Team Nex-TT-hreat, the one and only Blake VeNGeaNcE Campbell. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?
Oh, good, good. Anyway, so first things first, let's educate our viewers about Nex-TT-hreat.
Yes,
How did the
yes.
Nex-TT-hreat get started?
Basically, it all started back in COD 4. Uh, me, myself, uh, VeNGeaNcE, and Flawless are the all-time creators of Nex-TT-hreat. We are the founders. We started teaming. I believe I was the one that asked him to team. We were kind of unknown players in the start of COD 4. Um, I believe I found him on the leaderboards because I wanted to find unknown talent, which
Yeah,
is
yeah, I
kind of
remember
odd,
that. I remember
back
Flawless
then.
telling me about that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but basically we started doing 2v2s together on the GB doubles ladder for COD 4.
Infamous double threat.
Exactly. And right from the start, we just started dominating. It was like, it was like the perfect duo for the game. There was something that clicked between us, and we just got along great, and the skill level was there and everything. And for our doubles ladder, we never remade our doubles for COD 4.
Yeah,
Like, we
that's
just
right.
started dominating right from the start. And we ended up finishing, I think, overall 361 and 8 for our doubles ladder. And we also did really well on the team ladder as well.
Well,
And mind you guys,
didn't
this
your
is
success on as like double threat on the doubles ladder carry over into making the next threat actually? So I guess it really all starts with double threat, doesn't it?
yeah, it really did all start with, Flawless and I. Back in COD 4, it didn't really matter who our other two teammates were. We would be any team. But all in all, I mean, me and Flawless didn't stop teaming. We teamed for 3 to 4 years. How long was it?
Yeah, well, what, 07, 08 to just like uh shortly
We
after
we were
Black
like
Ops started.
the
He's taking a break right now, but yeah, you guys went pretty solid. I remember you did take a break for World at War. You didn't play World at War, but Flawless kept next threat going on World at War.
yeah,
So
and he
like,
dominated that World of War scene. And
yeah,
a lot of people too don't realize, like, they think, oh yeah, it was just, team ladder, and it was on the PS3 side, where there was no MLG. Well, the thing is there was still high competition back then. Like, even pros today, like Pluto and Mutation and, like Served. They're all pro players that still play today that
and
played
they were
back
all
then.
players that competed against you guys back in those games, like before the whole MLG thing came over. So I mean, there was always competition.
Yeah, and even JCap, he came from the PS3. Not a lot of people know that, but there was still a lot of competition, especially back, in the COD 4 days. That was the prime of Call of Duty, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. So everybody from the PS3 community knows of you guys, the infamous double threat. That yourself and Flawless were an unstoppable duo for many years. What really clicked so well between you guys?
I think it's just as our, individual skill, like, that obviously helps, but I think what it came down to is just getting along with each other. We saw a lot of things eye to eye on how to play the game, and, we were winning. Like, we didn't lose when we were in our prime together, and we were just like the perfect duo. I think we were basically like the Big T and Rambo for the PS3 side of things, and not a lot of people realize that.
I don't. Yeah. Well, people that have been around, I guess, on the PS3 side of things do know that. But yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, like fuck. What was your record again? It was like 300. I missed that. What did you say it was? With two
For
playoff championships
doubles,
too, right? Like back to back or something like that.
yeah, it was 361 and 8, and that's coming from the beginning when we first teamed like and started doubles. And we never remade our doubles account for COD 4 at least. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
we were
crazy.
as soon as we got together. I mean, we basically just dominated.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's taking a little break. I bet you miss him.
Yeah, I do, man. I mean, and I'm sure he'll come back one of these days. I mean, he's too skilled of a player not to.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that's a little bit of early history. So what's it like going from playing online competitively to playing on the MLG Pro circuit?
Well, for me, considering I'm a West Coast player and 90% of the players I would say are East Coast, and most of the events are East Coast as well. I think Anaheim is the only event on the West Coast for the pro circuit. Um, but yeah, I mean, right now I'm playing on wireless, so just having 3 bars compared to against playing 4 pros with 4 bars, and host, like that alone is hard. But
Huge
playing on wireless
disadvantage.
is
Yeah.
yeah, and playing on wireless is even harder. So, but I think it makes me that much um, of a better player because I can't just go in gunfights with people because of connection. So I have to outsmart them, put myself in better positions. But
Yeah, it makes you play
converting
a little
over
bit
to
more
LAN,
cautiously, I guess, versus
yeah, exactly.
playing on a full bar or playing LAN, I guess.
Exactly. And I mean, playing on LAN is just and online is just kind of night and day. Like, I mean, all your shots register. You're like, how did that just happen? You could cross map people and your shots will register. I mean, it seems like there's a little bit more recoil, but I rather have more recoil than not my shots not registering.
Oh,
So
more. There's more recoil on LAN.
yeah, there's kind of like your FAMAS shot, your reticle, it bounces up a
Oh, I
lot
see. I see.
more radically. But I mean, as long as your shots register, I mean, it's all good for
You're
me.
golden. um, right on. So let's talk about the first 3 events. How did those go? Break it down. Break it down for our viewers.
Basically, going into Dallas, Quanta Gaming sponsored our team, Influence, and Leverage. I believe our team was the first team to be picked up by Quantic.
Yep, very first
Um,
pro team out of any game, from what I know of, to be picked up by Quantic.
yeah, we're the very first pro team to get picked up by Quantic, and then I believe they picked up Influence, and then they end up picking up Leverage. But going into the first event, I was, I was a little nervous considering it was the first event and the first time that I would be going into something big like that without teaming with Flawless. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, that's right. And it all happened so fast, if I remember correctly. Like the event was coming up, and it was you and Flaw, and you were trying to find two. I believe you went from Flawless or it was Flawless VeNGeaNcE and Cynical Terrace at one point, and then people were getting dropped left and right, and then Flawless, ended up getting dropped and just quitting for a bit, or still quit. He's just disappeared MIA right now, I guess. But and then you go from Cynical and Terrorist and yourself, and who else was it? There was I can't
it
even
was like
remember.
Cynical Terrace, J-Bone, and
That's who it
Censor, I
was, J
think it
Bone. Yeah,
was.
J Bone. And then then you just like come out of nowhere with Virus, Sinister, and Censor.
Yeah, it was kind of like a desperate last-minute move going to Dallas, and with the stress of not teaming with Flawless anymore, someone that I've teamed with for 3 to 4 years, like nonstop.
As your right hand man, yeah, for
Exactly.
for 4 years or whatever it is.
But anyways, going into that event, with all the team issues that we're having, even with the lineup that we had, I mean, we lost a lot before Dallas. And
Oh, in
coming into
just regular
Dallas,
ladder play.
yeah, on the online qualifier for ladder play for the Dallas event, yeah, it was. I mean,
It was rough.
we had, I think, double snowflakes. I mean, it just wasn't good for the
Oh,
ladder, but
snowflakes, those suck.
yeah, I mean, it was kind of depressing, and but once we got to the event, it all clicked. I mean, we got good scrims against Influence. We beat them like 6-1 or 7-1 on maps, and we we played leverage because I knew it would be a confidence booster, win or lose against them on scrims at the actual events.
Oh, and you almost upset them at
And
the event as well.
yeah, we almost. I
Last
mean,
map,
we
last round of S&D. I hate to refresh your memory on that one. I bet it was rough. It
it
was
was
not.
kind of rough because but in all, like after we played them, I was still confident of coming back to winning through the losers bracket, just because I felt like we outplayed them. Like they won 2 search and destroys, 3-4, and they won the first map CTF by 1 flag, and it was a last-minute flag cap. But we beat them both sides of domination, and we beat them 3-0 on the CTF that we won. And I just felt like we didn't have a weak link. I felt like everybody was playing solid throughout the event. And I mean, but unfortunately, Virus ended up getting sick, and on the championship Sunday, so we had to settle for 8th place.
Well, yeah, because it forced you to play a man down for the rest of your matches, right? 3v4.
Exactly, and I mean, it kind of got depressing because we almost beat Ground Zero, who placed 4th, and we were playing a man down. So like, that's kind of disappointing. But I guess that was something I never thought would happen at an actual event. One of your teammates getting sick. I
Yeah,
don't
that
think that's
sucks.
ever really happened before.
That's a shitty way to go out for sure.
Yeah, and then for Columbus.
So 8th place at Dallas. Then what happened after Dallas? Going into Columbus.
Basically, what happened after Dallas was a team change, and it was not my decision. It was basically Virus decided to team with, I believe it was, I think he made his own team, Legend Status.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's right.
and that consisted of Too Quick, Virus, Fizzerp, and Diz. And they ended up placing 1 right behind us in Columbus, even after the unfortunate.
Oh, who'd you go to Columbus with?
I went to Columbus with. Oh man, the Columbus's event. I don't really like to
It was kind
remember,
of a
but
write-off. I think it was a write-off for a lot of teams. Being that
yeah,
PlayStation
yeah. I
Network was
mean,
down and everything like that.
like, oh yeah, I actually forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I totally forgot about that. But basically, we would go into the event with me, Sensor, RJ, and Mutation. But unfortunately, Mutation couldn't buy his. I guess he waited too long to buy his plane ticket, and he told us 2 days before the event, and so we basically got lucky enough to play with a spectator, I guess. So we didn't have to play man down, and everything was already bought too. Plane ticket and hotels were booked and everything, and
Yeah.
Synergy was kind of mad about the whole situation, but we ended up picking up Krukia, who's actually, I think, on another team, because we had to pick up someone that was already going to the event, because by then,
Yeah.
it was too expensive to buy a last-minute plane ticket. But we ended up finishing 17th, I believe.
I guess it's not too bad considering the circumstances. Like, you had your one of your main slayers on the team drop out 2 days before after practicing for however long it was, and then all of a sudden switching it up with somebody you've never played with before. Yeah, it's pretty tough, but anyway.
Yeah,
So after
I basically just went for the pro points, man.
yeah, exactly. So placing 17th at Columbus. What happened after that? What happened after Columbus?
Basically, what happened is we decided, because we had a really good team in Dallas, and Virus realized that, and we were a really, really good team together,
Well, yeah, I
and
guess
we
after you
worked well
guys,
together at an event.
yeah, after you guys placing 17th and them placing 18th, I guess something had to be sent through your head. So, like, why did we break up? I guess you know what I mean. So,
Exactly. So, like, actually, at the actual event in Columbus, Virus came up to us, and Sin came up to Sensor and I as well, and we were kind of like, what are we doing? Why aren't we teaming right now? Like, we could be having so much fun if we stayed together, from Dallas to Columbus.
yeah,
We could
clearly
be,
not better off without yeah without each other. I guess, right?
yeah. So, we brought the old OG Dallas roster back, going into Anaheim, and we were really confident. We were beating pretty much everybody in scrims.
Oh, I know a lot of teams were worried about you guys because they knew you were like a top team at the Dallas event. So I mean, I think you scared a couple teams. I think you scared Leverage a little bit, bringing that lineup back.
Yeah, I
Considering
mean,
in Dallas, when the first time you guys met up, it was really close. Last map, last round of S&D. That's what it came down to.
yeah, I mean, it was. We were hoping that it would, we would get the same experience playing against Leverage at the, Anaheim, but unfortunately, it didn't click. But we still ended up placing, really, really high.
All right, best
Um,
placement so far this season. You guys placed fourth, right?
yeah, it was kind of odd. I mean, we placed fourth, but I didn't feel like I was having my best event individually. And I think Sin had honestly his worst event.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a little rough for Sin.
and so it's kind of shocking, like we still played bad, but yet we ended up placing fourth. So I mean, we ended up kicking it up high gear though. Like the first couple days we weren't playing too good, but on Championship Sunday we played pretty well.
Oh yeah, well going through the loser bracket, you guys 3-0'd Obey and then you 3-0'd Influence like back to back, didn't you?
Yeah, we got after beating actually defying history. We went to a game 5 with them, and I forget who. There was some other team that a top caliber team that they almost beat in a game 5 as well. So we were pretty. That was kind of the momentum shifter, is beating defying history, and then going on to play Obey, and then 3-0ing them, and then 3-0ing Influence. So I mean, it's all about momentum when you're at these events and how you're playing on that specific day. I
Yeah,
mean,
for
it's
sure.
all really all a mental game. I mean, you can't, it's a team thing too. So I mean, even if you're on, your mental game's on and you're playing good, you have to also worry about your team and what's going through their minds as well, because you need them. You can't be a one-man army and win an event. You need your team.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a team game. All right, let's talk a little bit about Quantic Gaming. Not too many people. Well, a lot of people know about Quantic now. They've grown like huge. They've really come out,
Yeah, man, they're
done a
all
lot
over the
for their
circuit.
teams, and
StarCraft,
yeah.
Halo, and Black Ops especially. But
What can you say about them as a sponsor? Like how do they help you as a pro player to prepare for these events and whatnot?
as a pro player, they help out in so many ways. I mean, they really make it easy on me to where I can all I have to do is focus on winning and focus on my own gameplay. I don't have to. They basically take away all the distractions, and I don't have to worry about paying for my airfare, like where I'm gonna stay at an event. All that's kind of taken care of. I don't
Yeah,
have
they
to
take
really
away
worry
that
about
that
that.
stress so you can focus on your gameplay for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly. And I mean, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at with my team and the success that it's starting to become without them. So I gotta give them a shout out.
Big ups to Quantic Gaming. All right. Well, I think we just about covered most of the stuff I wanted to cover anyway. So, any last minute shout outs to anybody?
Shout out to my team, Quanta Gaming. Follow me at Twitter at MLG VeNGeaNcE. And shout out to Flawless. And yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it.
All right.